I'm going to ask them to answer the question how they think you answered, okay? But you need to answer the question how you think they would answer this, okay? So the first question is, just two, we're not going to go any crazy things like where was the craziest place that you ever kissed, okay? Anything like that. I made the mistake of asking that backstage earlier in the mix. I think we probably should have been arrested, you know, so we'll have to, there's more to come later. Okay, first question. Our marriage would be perfect if we could just agree on this. And they don't know, they haven't been asked these questions. They don't know, okay? So, and you have to be fast. Okay? Our marriage would be perfect if we could just agree on Really? Okay, one word is, okay, so, all right, you got this, Dennis?
What's that question again?
Our marriage would be perfect. Okay, question number 2, okay? What's the most annoying thing she does when she is in business building mode? The most annoying thing she does when she's in business building mode. Well, you came up with that fast. Okay, no, this is not like a list of questions, a list of answers. Danny's got 19 already. Okay, we ready to go, Dennis?
Ready.
Okay, so now put those down. We're going to answer the first question first. So, no, you're going to need to put them on your lap so they can't see those. Okay, so, thank you. Okay, so now let's bring out their significant others, their wives. So would you please help me welcome to the stage Christina Delgado, Julie Fowler, and Melissa McAllister. Clearly, it's disgusting, you know? That is so staged. Okay, so... Okay, we gotta move, it's a family show. Okay, so you probably heard the questions backstage, so you're gonna answer how you think he thought you'd answer this question. Okay, so the first question, we'll start with Christina, then Danny's gonna show the answer, okay, on this. So the question was, our marriage would be perfect if we could just agree on...
More sex.
More sex. Okay, you will be happy, maybe this comes with that, but you'll be happy to know that Danny answered that he's the boss. Okay, so maybe that comes, I don't know in your family, so, yeah. Okay, so, all right. So Julie, how do you think Dennis answered that you'd answer?
Oh.
Our marriage would be perfect if we could just agree on...
In my defense, I said...
No. Yes, no. This is a sign of a good marriage. In my defense... okay, Julie?
Goodness. Maybe on cars? I don't know.
Okay, our marriage would be perfect if we agree on cars.
That was the right answer.
Yeah, that was good.
Okay, so you answered...
If we could just agree on the right television show on Netflix at nighttime when we're ready
the right TV show on Netflix at night when we go to bed. Okay, so, man, it doesn't take much to get a perfect marriage here. This is going to be, this is easy, right? Okay, and certainly last but not least, Melissa, how did Mick answer this question?
Sex.
Sex. More or less? I'm just asking, okay? I know with Mick you have to pin him down.
Definitely.
The temperature of the... Okay, so, all right. Wow, I could go so many directions on this. Second question is the most annoying thing she does when she's in business building mode. Christina, how did Danny answer?
No sex.
Are you always in business building mode?
Yes.
Always in business building mode. Those adopted kids look a lot like her. But anyway, so how did you answer this question? Forget that he's the boss. I'm in business building mode. Okay, we have a control issue here. Okay, so Julie, how did Dennis answer that?
I think that he would either say that when I'm on Zoom calls or on the phone, I talk in a really squeaky voice. He always says I have a phone voice whenever I get really focused, that my voice changes. Either that or that I'm too focused and I can only. I don't know.
So squeaky,
It's one of
annoying
those.
voice when
A
you're...
squeaky, annoying voice. He always says that.
Okay, so Dennis?
She tunes me completely out.
Just turns you out.
Doesn't
That-
listen.
I don't think anyone else can relate with that. For sure. I think that's hand in glove right here, right? No sex, no, turns me out. Okay, anyway. Melissa,
I'm so nervous.
most annoying thing that you do?
I ignore him.
You what?
I ignore him.
Just, so you ignore
I
him?
do, yeah.
You just ignore him. Say, what does that mean?
Opportunity. Whenever she's on the phone with people, she's like, "This is a great opportunity. You should come on this." And I was so it's like this thing we have.
Okay.
And amazing's right there too. Amazing.
Okay, so nice. So if all right.
Hard, right?
Okay, so let's jump into the kind of what the running the family business. And clearly, one of the reasons we did this is obviously relationships are relationships, and there's differences of opinions and all that kind of good stuff. So just real quickly, so everybody gets to know these guys in literally 30 seconds, or I'll cut you off. Okay, Bachelor, who are you when you came to business? Yeah.
So it's Danny and Christina Delgado. We've been together since I was 15, he was 17. Grew up together, like literally our story starts in diapers. But he was recruited right out of high school to play Major League Baseball for the Seattle Mariners. And he played for 6 years. He suffered a career-ending injury 6 years in, almost at the big leagues. And all the while, he was supporting me in my dream of going to law school. So fast forward from that point, we have 2 beautiful kids, DJ and Marley, and we've been married for 11 years.
Fantastic. And there's control issues. Dennis?
Just like the Delgados, first Dennis and Julie Fowler. We were high school sweethearts, and we've been married for 15 years now, going on 16. And I was a police officer for 12 years. She was a banking manager. And we live in a very tiny town. We have 2 kids, 10 and 12, 4 dogs, 2 cats, and a partridge in a pear tree.
Mick and Melissa McAllister, North Dallas area. We're high school sweethearts. We were bad kids. And fell in love at an early age. We've got 2 kids, 19 and 20, Tanner and Taylor. Started the business 7 years ago, and I've been working with her probably coming up on 4 years now, and she retired now.
Perfect. Okay, so we're gonna move quickly because we don't have as much time as we would like. But so creating and running a family business isn't always that easy, right? So we'll just kind of start here, work our way to the left, and why I left anyway. So from the standpoint of gaining partner buy-in, the challenges of that, setting aside egos, was there any of that, and how did you overcome it?
I really never bought into the business. I bought into her. So it no matter what she wanted to do, I was in, and she had always bought into me. And let's face it, if she was meant to spread her wings and fly, kind of take off on her own, why not fly together?
So he read that just the way she wrote it, okay? So you forgot the exclamation mark on that, okay? So just drilling below that a little bit more though. So obviously there's, I would have to think, kind of sometimes egos, confidence, things like that, supporting can tend to get in the way. Has that played a part? How did you overcome that?
Yes. So, we have a really strong relationship, but this business kind of messed us up a little bit early on because I have a very intense personality, so does Danny. We're both Reds in the color code system, so we have this explosive love, but when it's bad, I mean, it could be the start of a Dateline episode. Like it's like
Like a vouch for it.
and at the beginning, I was very, very much so working the business all the time. Like I am happy working, and I could literally work this business 24 hours a day. So I needed to first buy into the fact that I needed him to buy into the business, but I needed to fix me first. I needed this to become an us business. When I started speaking in terms of us instead of me, because I can have a very strong ego and something I've been working on, and it's our business, not my business, our team, not my team, then the buy-in became much easier and a much smoother transition. And that recently happened. It didn't happen very early on. We struggled at first with that.
Yeah, Shalene actually talked a bit about that, did a great job at some of that. Okay, Fowlers, so biggest challenge, you were both working, police officer, bank manager, challenges in making this thing work for you, and how did you overcome those?
Absolutely. Want to answer that one?
So I guess I can kind of speak to both sides of this because when Dennis started the business, I was not completely into being a coach at the time. And now, since starting, we've both done Elite twice together. And so I can kind of speak to it from both sides. In the beginning, the thing that really, that helped us overcome some challenges was he recognized the things that I was doing for this business, even if they weren't things that, even if I didn't have my sights set on diamond. Maybe I was just putting the kids to bed while he's on a team call and supporting him that way. Cooking dinner so that he could work and do that power hour, just little things like that, and just focusing on the things that your spouse does do for you, even if it's not, maybe they're not shooting for Elite, maybe that's their part of the business, and just, being blessed by what they do there. And then as an Elite couple, working together for that, as you can imagine, it can be very, yeah, it can be a blessing and it can be a curse because we realize what it takes, and we are both obviously very focused. One thing that helps us to overcome that is to realize that I need him to be my upline coach sometimes, and then sometimes I just need him to be my spouse. And so we do have, there's times when we ask that question, when I'm struggling or when he's struggling. Who do you need me to be, your spouse or your coach? Do you need me to quote Jim Rohn? Do you need me to talk about the connection? Or do you just need me to shut up and listen and hug you? And so that's kind of the difference, because you can turn on coach mode 24 hours a day and forget that this is also your spouse.
Good. Okay, McAllister. So a lot of times in the business, some of the why or kind of end in mind for a lot of folks is to retire their spouse. Challenges with that. How did you guys go about that, and how did you overcome any challenges that might have surfaced there?
You want to start?
He's just thinking about the temperature of the car.
Ours is a little different. I mean, I see it amongst all of us that there's two ways of really kind of building this business. Sometimes a coach will start out and maybe they'll see traction like 1 or 2 star, and they're so excited, and then they bring their spouse in right away, and that works as well because one's got the attention, and then all of a sudden the husband or wife comes home to work that opposite side, and you can do like a competition between the two. And however you push to get to 10 star, 15 star, whether it's 8 and 7 or whatever equals 15, or in my case, I had a freight train that was just on a runaway. And so I'm doing car sales, and she wants to retire me. And when I came into the picture, she was like, okay, great, I'm gonna work to retire you. I've got like this, to me, it almost kind of, no offense to her, but it seemed like she had a box ready for me. Like I was gonna go from this job to this job. And so when I came home for retirement, it was like, okay, start off as a coach. Here's what you do. You build a Facebook page and get people, and
It's a great opportunity.
Right. It's a great opportunity. We're going to be amazing at it. Well, let me show you how to sign up. And so I tried it and crashed and burned, and it didn't take long before we kind of sat down and I said, I feel like I had something different to give. I mean, with my corporate background and working with large corporations and advertising and whatnot, I said, why don't I just be, and Shalene said it best, you have a cone and a plow. I go, why don't I be your plow and move all the crap out of your way, and you just continue to just focus and talk to these people, and you'll have more time, you can be more intent and intimate with them, and just go, 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 go. I'll take care of all the crap you don't want to deal with, you know? And even in preparing for this, she said, you know, I was good at like making the money was coming in, but I really didn't know what to do with it. So, I mean, it really became a great melt for us, but it was completely different, you know?
So you kind of aligned part of that with making sure you had strengths that you leveraged in the relationship that gave you that role.
But it was 180 degrees opposite of what we thought how we were going to do.
So just, how long did it take you guys to kind of get there?
6 months of probably choking each other. I mean, it was crazy. I came home, I felt like a fish out of water, and she's like, you don't have any coaches yet? You know? And I was like, is this what it's like to be in the team? No. But we did, it was just a little bit of massaging, you know, and no matter how you do it. And I think too, like if you were to set it up as a husband and wife team, like if you look at the Reeds, they have successful teams and they complement each other, you know, and it's just a completely different way of building than how we're building. But I mean, it doesn't matter if it's all making success, then great, that's all you want.
Okay, we're going to move quickly here. Just so, roles in the relationship. I mean, oftentimes there seems like there's role reversals where Christine, you became the principal money earner on this. Did that threaten the kind of your traditional roles as you might think? You know, dad, mom, provider, that kind of thing. How do you deal with that?
Well, I think at the beginning, it can cause that, and it did in our relationship. And I think, you know, in the business that we're in with social media and this little bubble that we call Team Beachbody, and you start seeing success in the business, that it could start changing you and the way that you act, even in the home. And I know I was kind of falling into that trap where I was making myself more important than I really was, you know, because the most important people in my life are at home. Unfortunately, it's not you guys, you know, but sometimes I would elevate what you thought of me more than what he thought of me. And that was causing friction. So I had to really dig in and figure out what was wrong. And what I was doing wrong was that I was not giving him the role that he had prior to Beachbody, which is protector, provider, and awesome husband and father that he is. And when I went back to that, I think our happiness came back because we went back to our number one priority, which was our family, us, and our kids, and making sure that not only do we want Beachbody to last forever, but our number one priority is that our marriage lasts forever. And that this business should not be the catalyst to this role reversal where you can't get back to those priorities.
Well said. Thank you. Fowler, so you have how many children? I know you've got like 4 dogs, 2 cats, and a partner, and 2 children.
2.
So both of you are running the business, raising kids. How do you manage that?
Well, in the very beginning, like Julie said, she wasn't on board. And a lot of you don't know, I had a few failed businesses before Beachbody, not network marketing or anything like that. So there was a lot of money that was wasted. So whenever I started this thing, she was like, no, you're going to lose more of our money. And anyways, I was like, you know what, I'm not going to listen to you. This is a great opportunity. I'm going to go get started. But it was one of those things where I had to really tread lightly. And a lot of people, they kind of put their spouse on the outside of their dream, and that's one thing that I really made sure that I didn't do. And we did a good job of, I guess, setting the vision of this is what we want to do, and to do it together. And Carl said it in the mastermind thing. He's like, I could work this thing 7 days a week, and how many of us can do the same thing? And it makes us happy, But after 2 to 3 years of working 7 days a week, and your businesses, and you're making thousands of dollars. But if your marriage isn't there, and if your kids have no idea who you are, was it worth it? And that's something that you really have to think long and hard about. But there is a way to, meet your goals and have that family, because this is a relationship business, but you can't forget about the relationships that you had from the very beginning. And But with the family, it's, my strength is I'm more of the motivator and the preacher, right? And she's more of the teacher. She has a gift of teaching. So I hate training, y'all. I hate training groups. I hate Coach Basics. Sorry, guys, But thank God, I have her to back me up. And it wasn't always, we didn't always have that perfect balance. But, after doing this, we've kind of settled into our own.
Okay. So Melissa, I'll direct this one to you. Just from the standpoint of what would you say you've done particularly well as the one who's kind of been driving the business, but in helping Mick kind of make this work for him? What have you done well to make it work?
You should change.
What have I done? That's a good question. One of the things that I think the very most important thing I did, I know you've heard this before, but I had heard it before too, and I just never really took ownership of it, was every single time you're talking about this business, you have to say we. You can never say I. When it comes to success, when it comes to finances, it always has to be we, because I know it sounds cheesy, but you just, and I know you can attend, I could not do this without him. He's behind the scenes. Gentlemen, it's so important for you, as crazy as this sounds, when I'm sitting at my computer and I've taught a PIO class and I come home, I'm in my PIO clothes, my workout clothes all day long, I don't shower, and he'll come up behind me, give me a big hug, and he'll say something as sweet as, "Oh, you smell good." Like, are you kidding? You're lying. But I appreciate that, because he's still, even though I've been busy and I've been working really hard, he's just still there to make me feel good. And I can work the 7 days a week as well, and he will, without my permission, pull me away, even for just a weekend, because we need that in our relationships to stay strong. And that's his strength, and he does that for me, and I allow him to do that. At first I would fight it. He actually had to trick me to going to the airport. He lied to me, told me we were going out to dinner when he had packed a bag for me to take me on a trip, because I would have said, no, I can't. This business, it's booming. I got too much to do. My team is exploding. I can't slow down. And he would do that for me. So just learning that he's so ridiculously important in this business for me, even though he's behind the scenes.
So glad Jorette's not here to hear these kinds of things. Okay, we are out of time, but I'm going to steal just a minute and a half, 30 seconds each. If you were to say, if I only would have done this would have saved us some grief. Sometimes we learn from things that the mistakes that we wish, the do-over type thing. So if you had a do-over as you started to run the family business, can you think of one?
I personally can't think of one, because everything that we've done to this day has ended up to where we are today. So I wouldn't change a thing.
I think, but in all due respect to that, and I agree, it's done. It's not all perfect. It's the we thing. I would say this is my thing, and I think that caused friction that was unnecessary when it was such an easy fix. It was such an easy fix.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Bowers?
I'll take this one.
Oh boy. So maybe for me, for us, I think that, just realizing that sometimes we get it right and sometimes we don't, and that's just how it is. It's not always going to be perfect. At the end of the day, what we didn't get right today, we'll work on tomorrow, and we'll
Give each other a lot of grace.
definitely grace.
Give the benefit of the doubt, be a little forgiving.
Yes.
Yeah, nice. Okay, thank you. Nick, Melissa? Go. So we're going to end really powerfully and strong on this last point, and so everyone be prepared to give a big round of applause on this one.
I would just say that don't be as hesitant as we all are, being the spouse on the outside looking in, to come aboard and just start helping. You don't need to dive in, or as we say, drink the Kool-Aid. I wasn't big about Beachbody. I'm a total guy's guy, car nut. I'm all about adrenaline. And the Beachbody thing just really wasn't appealing to me in the beginning. I was behind her, and if she wanted to do it, I was like, go baby, go baby, go. But this
the best thing you can do, and anyone in this room, because you're all ultra successful already, is just praise that to everyone in your team, that the thing is real, and just get on board. That both people got to get on board as soon as possible, because all that time that was wasted, it seems like little bits, but go back and think, if we were that much more efficient, I mean, it would happen quicker, you know?
Yeah, great. Well, we could spend a lot more time, a lot more questions, but we appreciate you guys being willing to share a little bit, and congratulations on running great family businesses and for just sharing some of your insights. So ladies and gentlemen, give these guys a big round of applause.